Chapter 17. At the end of the tunnel, the conveyor belt came together with a much bigger one, like an on-ramp joining the interstate highway. It stretched down a long, chilly hallway, and every few yards there was a mechanical arm. As the scanners read luggage tags, the arms moved like flippers on a pinball machine. They opened to keep some suitcases moving on the main ramp and closed to direct others to different belts. Some of the bags got shoveled off to the side and rode small conveyor belts up to higher baggage racks that lined the walls almost to the ceiling. The racks were teetering with bags, maybe because so many planes had been delayed. Other suitcases got kicked off the ramp altogether and dumped into a big rectangular cart on the ground. Off to Anna's left, standing next to one of those carts, were Jose and Henry. "Dude, we thought you got lost in there. We've been waiting for, like, ever." Anna tripped over herself, trying to get her limbs unfolded and climb out from between the bags. "Sinan's in there," she jumped to the ground, letting the black BTV suitcase go on without her. It didn't matter where it went now. She knew exactly where Sinan was. In trouble. "Sinan's back in that room, and there are two of them. We have to go for help." "Slow down," Jose held up a hand. "What are you talking about?" "Who are you talking about?" "I don't know who, but I heard voices, two men, and..." "Was one of them Snake Arm?" Henry asked. Maybe, probably, I'm not sure, but listen, will you?" They were arguing, and one of them kept clicking something in his pocket, and they were clunking boxes and containers around and talking about the flag. "It's there. They have it in there." "They have the flag?" "The flag?" Henry held his arms wide. Anna nodded. "Dude, that's awesome." "It's awful," Jose whispered. "You said Sinan is in there now with those men?" He ran in after Harambai. While those men were... She took a deep breath. "I think they were ripping a piece from the flag." "Ripping a piece from it?" Jose's mouth fell open. "Are you sure? What exactly did you see?" "I didn't see much, but I heard them talking, and I heard the ripping." "What else?" "That's about it. I was trying to videotape, but..." "You have video?" Jose's eyes lit up. Then he stared at her empty hands. "But I dropped the camera." Henry shook his head. "Aw, man, you totally lose points for that." "This is not pretend, Henry," Anna whirled around to face him. "You think everything is just a dumb game, and I don't know where you two were when I was in there with those guys, but let me tell you something. They are real, live, bad guys. Not some characters you can control with your thumbs. They're real, they're scary, and they caught Sinan." "They caught him?" Henry's jaw dropped. "Yes." They grabbed him, and one of the men started talking about how could a kid could disappear in there. And oh, Anna's voice trembled. "My mom said how dangerous the Serpentine princes are. And the way that they were talking, I think they might really hurt him." Sinan would have seen everything where he was. Their faces, the flag. She swallowed hard. "He's in huge trouble." Henry's face turned to stone, his mouth tight, his eyes focused on the tunnel that led back to the larger baggage room. "We need to get him out of there. What we need is help," Jose said. "But we just broke the law, sneaking into an off-limits area of the airport. So unless we can prove what Anna heard was true, we're not going to get help. We're going to get yelled at." "What we need," Anna looked over her shoulder toward the tunnel. Jose finished her thought. "Is that video camera." He blinked a few times fast and tugged his eyebrow. "Do you know where you dropped it?" "Kind of." She could hear the men's voices. All kinds of bad things could happen. "But it fell a long way. It might not even work anymore. Don't you think it's too dangerous?" "What's wrong with you?" Henry's voice was sharp. "You're the one who wanted to be Little Miss Secret Society. You're the one who said this isn't a video game. Sinan is alone in there with those guys. He's 8 years old. 8. We have to go." He jumped up to the conveyor belt with one foot on each of the metal edges, the only parts that weren't moving in the wrong direction. "Whoever's coming with me, keep your feet to the metal edges. You're going to have to get down on all fours to get to the tunnel." Teetering, he took a couple of tentative steps and then squatted and put his hands down on the edges in front of him, moving hand, foot, all the way up to the rubber strips before he looked over his shoulder. "Who's with me?" Jose bit his lip and mumbled something. What was that? A coward turns away, but a brave man's choice is danger. Jose said it, but it didn't sound as if he really believed it. "Yeah," Henry nodded. "I like whoever said that. Euripides." Well, if you believe that, then follow me. Henry turned and headed into the tunnel. Jose took a deep breath and climbed onto the belt. He looked wobbly, but followed Henry, hand, foot, back into the big room. Annalise threatened to buckle under her. In her mind, she heard the man's deep voice again. A busy place like this, all kinds of bad things could happen. It'd be mighty easy for a kid to get lost, or hurt real bad. He might even go missing. But she knew Henry was right. Still shaking, she hoisted herself back up onto the belt, stepped onto the outside edges, caught her balance, and followed the boys through the tunnel.